What is mine? Not as loud. Okay.
Because it's
Today, Junior.
tomorrow. Yesteryear.
Anyways, we're live. I don't remember at what point I clicked live, but we're live.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah. What?
Joyful jackrabbits. Jolly jurisdict judicial jargon justly.
I don't know.
Progressively poignant penguins perpetually penetrate political propensities passionately.
Perfect. Okay.
I can give you another one.
We can keep going, folks. This is what we did.
Henceforth, heinous heresies. I forget the next word.
What was it? Heinous.
Hardly hinder Hector's hectic habits.
What was it?
I forget Hector's habits.
Hector's habits.
Harshly.
Harshly, sure. Hardly.
Happenstance. Carrying capybaras courageously counteract corduroy contingencies. Carefully.
Carefully. Corduroy? What's a corduroy contingency?
I have no idea.
Wasn't it corduroy companion?
Corduroy companions contingencies compassionately.
Compassionately.
Carrying capybaras courageously counteract corduroy companions' compassionate contingencies.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shall we keep going?
Electrifying elephants elastically elongate.
Wait, was that all off the dome?
Yeah, basically.
Elastically elongate.
Engineering eccentricities
Eloquent engineering.
exceptionally.
Eccentricities. Exceptionally. This is fun. Anyways, welcome back to the YAP Life Podcast.
I hope y'all know that was totally off the cuff. We decided to do that about 10 minutes ago. We actually really didn't decide to do it. I just did it.
Yeah, we just started randomly writing those during setup.
Yeah,
Just
because we were
with
talking
our
about
brains.
the P sound, how it like
Oh, yeah.
in the mics, and then we were like came up with an alliteration for a bunch of P words. Hence the progressively poignant penguins perpetually penetrate political propensities passionately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it started. And then it just kept going.
Yeah. Psalms.
To Psalms.
Psalms.
Oh.
Because we're reading from the Psalms
Yeah,
today.
we're reading from the Psalms. So that's another P word. Yeah, so today what are we doing? We're going through our first, what is it, reading through the word?
Working through the word.
Working through the word. So we're just gonna, on these episodes, we'll find a passage or a chapter or something like that we'll work through together. And we haven't done prior research to this. We're gonna do Psalms 66, verse 16.
We'll probably read the whole psalm and then we'll focus on verse 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to tell the people why we're focusing on verse 16, Ryan?
Because that is officially the YAP Life verse. That is our verse that kind of encompasses our vision for the podcast.
For some reason I thought you were going to say encompassates, and I was like, that's not a word.
That ain't a word.
That ain't a word, Ryan.
No. But yeah, that's the verse. We'll read it soon. But it kind of encapsulates, that's another one, our vision for the podcast and why we started it. So that's why we thought it would be a good idea to start with Psalm 66 for this episode. You dropped your phone.
Yep. Let me just. Okay.
Solid. Okay. Are you going to read it for us?
I can. I'll just read the whole verse, and then I will enunciate eccentrically verse 16.
Okay.
Eccentrically enunciate verse 16. Sorry,
Exciting.
I'm in an alliterating mood.
Me too. Okay, cool.
Sorry, I'll stop being weird. To the choir master, a song, a psalm. Shout for joy to God, all the earth. Sing the glory of his name. Give to him glorious praise. Say to God, how awesome are your deeds. So great is your power that your enemies come cringing.
That is the
Cringing to
word,
you.
isn't it?
Yeah.
We
I
were
remember
talking
when we
about
read that
the
earlier, yeah.
first time. It's a weird word.
Cringing to you. All the earth worships you and sings praises to you. They sing praises to your name. Come and see what God has done. He is awesome in his deeds toward the children of man. He turned the sea into dry land. They passed through the river on foot. There did we rejoice in him, who rules by his might forever, whose eyes keep watch on the nations. Let not the rebellious exalt themselves. Bless our God, O peoples. Let the sound of his praise be heard, who has kept our soul among the living and has not let our feet slip. For you, O God, have tested us. You have tried us as silver is tried. You brought us into the net. You laid a crushing burden on our backs. You let men ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, yet you have brought us out to a place of abundance. I will come into your house with burnt offerings. I will perform my vows to you, that which my lips uttered and my mouth promised when I was in trouble. I will offer to you burnt offerings of fattened animals with the smoke of the sacrifice of rams. I will make an offering of bulls and goats. Now verse 16. Come and hear, all who fear God, and I will tell you what he has done for my soul. I cried to him with my mouth, and high praise was on my tongue. If I had cherished iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. But truly God has listened. He has attended to the voice of my prayer. Blessed be God, because he has not rejected my prayer or removed his steadfast love from me.
Yes.
Maybe just to highlight verse 16 again. Come and hear, all who fear God, and I will tell you what he has done for my soul.
Do you guys get it? Do you understand? Why that's our... So, yeah, it's kind of just... We're on this podcast to tell people what God has done for us.
Even you just think of our first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It was just literally our testimonies. That's literally like, come in here and I'll tell you what God has done.
Exactly.
It was the embodiment of that idea.
Oh, I wish I brought my Bible. It's in my car, but I just want to look at it. Something different about like reading it instead of just listening to it. Yeah, 16.
In case you missed it, this is Psalm 66.
Yeah, Psalm 66, and then verse 16 is our highlight. I love how it's all who fear God. Because it sounds negative to fear God at first. But the Bible also says the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom.
Yeah.
And it's like, why should we be afraid of a loving God? Probably we should be afraid of not being close to him. That's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah. It's also like I should have brought my concordance because it gives you the Hebrew words, but because I think also when it's talking about fear, it's more meaning respect. Like
yeah,
like
it's kind of like how you fear punishment from your parents, which causes you to do good. It's kind of similar to that. It's like you fear what could happen if you fall away from God. And so you respect him and you love him because of that. Are you looking up a concordance?
I should have, yeah. I was also going to look up something else, but I forget what I was going to look up. Hebrew word for fear.
And I know we shared our testimonies the first 2 episodes, but we'd love to have people come on and share theirs. Like if you feel like you have a strong testimony and you just want to share it. Yeah.
I should say everybody has a strong testimony,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're willing to share
Yeah,
yours,
if you're willing to share it and you feel like it'll help you or it'll help other people just to get it out there on the podcast, yeah. Shoot us a DM at YAP Life Podcast on Instagram.
the fear of the Lord is in Hebrew, it's Yirat Adonai, which means like awe or reverence
Okay. Yeah.
or fear.
Right.
There's something else I was going to look up in there. There's one part in there that actually reminded me of our discussion on Wednesday.
Okay.
The bit where he's like, you've caused people to trample like on our heads and
Right.
you've put a crushing burden on my back.
Yeah.
And that ties back into like that idea of punishment and wrath.
Yeah.
Because to me, that just sounds like that was punishment. And I'm instantly going there, exile in Babylon. You put this crushing weight on our back, but it was all for the purpose of redirecting them to Christ.
Yeah. True.
And they come through that, and then he ends with, blessed be God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And even like, you put all this weight on me, but come and hear what he's done for me. This crushing weight has like,
Yeah.
it's changed my life.
Yeah.
Because I found God.
Yeah, it's so good.
That's kind of what I'm hearing when I read through it.
Right. I kind of want to
Gonna be a lot of awkward silence in this episode.
yeah, I'm just reading. It's always cool. It's like a huge theme through the Bible that you have to go through stuff to get out of it, to be able to appreciate God and his grace and his ability to take you out of stuff. Yeah, and it's so cool. You hear of people that go through like terrible things, and then they can still like praise God out of that. And like I feel like everyone has something terrible that's happened to them in their life.
Yeah. It's the nature of life.
Yeah. And the fact that we can still praise God out of that. And like you can always see how that has shaped you as a person. It's always the hard times that shapes you. It's like, sometimes I see these themes in stories and movies and books all the time. It's like the same theme as in the Bible. It's like you have to go through struggle to realize who you are, where you're going, and to overcome it. And a lot of the times, like, there's so many biblical through lines in, like, secular stories.
Yep.
That no one realizes that it's totally biblical. It's the same every time. Good versus evil. And then people brush off the Bible so quickly. It's like, yeah.
But then there's a lot of people that will read the Bible, they don't believe in it, but they also believe in the wisdom in it.
Yeah.
Right? Like they'll read Proverbs.
Right. That's so true.
This is all so true wisdom. Yeah.
It is true.
So maybe the rest of the book's true too.
Yeah.
Right?
Take a gander through the rest of it.
Blessed be God, our people. Bless our God, O peoples. Let the sound of his praise be heard, who has kept our soul among the living. That's an interesting line. And has not let our feet slip. For you, O God, have tested us. You have tried us as silver is tried. You brought us into the net. You laid a crushing burden on our backs. You let men ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, yet you have brought us into a place of abundance. That ties in with Psalm 23. Though
Right.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. You
Mhm.
prepare a place for me in the presence of my enemies.
Yeah.
I will walk through all this, yet you lead me by still waters and green pastures.
Yeah.
That place of abundance.
And I like how it says, you let men trample over me. It's not, you made men trample over me, or it's not God's doing. It's man that fell. It's man that.
It's not like he's going, hey, Ryan, go walk over Japheth.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
He's letting you walk over Japheth.
Yeah.
Don't walk over me, please.
It's. We'll see. I'm just playing.
Oh,
The face. Just a pure betrayal.
I'm just going to drink my coffee.
Bewitched betrayal.
Bewildering
Becomes
betrayal.
beheading.
Beheading? Oh, my goodness.
I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you yet.
Bewildering betrayal becomes beheading.
Beneficially.
Whoa!
Okay. I'm just kidding. You look like you're about to cry. I can't look at you because I just get sad. Okay.
What else did you say earlier that I was like, I need to quote that?
Oh yeah, we were talking about men and women again.
My favorite part about women is that she's not a man.
Yeah, I actually got that from it's not my quote. I got that from a comedy special. It's my favorite part about a woman is that she's not a dude. It's true though.
What do you like about women? That they're not men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Need I say more?
Anyway,
Where were we?
beheading.
Beheading beneficially. Okay.
Are we going back to France or something? 1700s, guillotine.
Isn't that still a thing in some countries?
Not France.
Not France.
Although it was more recent than you'd think.
Really?
It was 1980s.
Ooh. That is very recent.
Yeah.
Beheading? Like
1900s.
public beheading?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I don't understand how that was like a thing to, let's go watch the beheadings. Why?
Why would you watch the hangings either?
Yeah. It's like so weird.
Are you
Coming to the tree. But
Where
if you think
this-
about it, to tie it back to the Bible, that's what that was part of the punishment, was it was a public crucifixion. It's like you're being mocked and you're laughed while you're suffering, which is just awful if you think about it.
Mhm.
But like, I couldn't imagine being that person to mock and laugh someone dying. I don't know. I guess it's just a totally different
You
culture.
can bring your kid to it too and be like,
Yeah, it's
hey,
like
look
a
at
whole
this man
family
that's
thing.
like getting torn apart.
Yeah.
Throw a tomato at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ooh. I love how it switches though. Like, you brought me through this place of fire and through water, yet you have brought us into a place of abundance. I will come into your house with burnt offerings. Like, I've been through all this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to come in your house and praise you.
So good.
I will perform my vows to you that I made in those hard times. Because we often have that like plea when you're going through it. You're just like, Lord, I will do anything
Yeah.
for you to like. I will perform my vows to you, that which my lips uttered and my mouth promised when I was in trouble.
Yeah.
Right? I will offer you burnt offerings of fattened animals. With the smoke of the sacrifice of rams, I will make an offering of bulls and goats. Come in here, all who fear God, and I will tell you what he has done for my soul. Like, he's just listing something like, I've been through this, I've been through this. Like,
Yeah.
But come and see what God has done.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what our testimonies are.
Yeah.
All of us is like, this is all, like, I think I said it in like the first episode. I was like, I don't think the testimonies are the highlights of, like, the highlights of our life. They're the lowlights.
Right.
Because that's where you do your growing. That's where you do your learning. Right?
So true.
Sometimes God lets you hit rock bottom because then you have nowhere else to look but up.
Mm-hmm.
Up at him.
Yeah. I've been there. Yeah. And I've recently had this thought in my head where it's like, 'Cause it's very easy to think like that this is the life that I have to live. I have to get everything done in this life and retire and be set so I can be comfortable and I make a bunch of money, just like be comfortable as much as you can in this life, get as much done. But this isn't the life. This isn't the end goal. This is just a tiny blip before eternity where we're judged for what we do. And I've only recently had that thought in my mind where it's like, man, I don't really care that much. Like, I'm trying not to care about how my life turns out as long as I'm living for God. That's all that matters, because then I can have, who knows, whatever heaven's got. I'm sure it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to look forward to. But this is not the life we need to pile up money for or set ourselves up perfectly. I feel like that's a lot of what the Bible is trying to say. Like, life is hardship. As long as you're looking towards Him.
What are you so worried about?
Yeah. As long as you're trusting in Him throughout all that rough stuff. Yeah, what is there to worry about?
Yep.
It's
I've
pretty
had to
cool.
remind myself that a couple times, and a couple of my friends. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you so worried about?
Yeah, exactly. It's so easy to get focused on this life and like, oh, I'm 23, I don't have the career I want or a family yet. Like, what am I doing? It's like, you're 23.
Mm-hmm. Then it's also like, if you think about it, do I really? No, I'm 21. You're 23. Do I really want to be a parent right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine?
Dude, 10 years ago, I was like, I want a kid by 22.
Mm-hmm.
That was just because I wanted to be a young dad. I wanted to be like super young dad so I could play sports with my teenagers. But like,
I would love that.
yeah.
I would like to have kids before I'm 30.
Yeah, exactly. But 22 is a little wild.
A little wild, yeah.
Like, I had this whole plan that I was going to finish high school early and like jam all my semesters full of stuff and get out of there early, find a wife, finish college early, and just have a bunch of kids. That did not happen at all. Which I'm okay with. Like,
Hey, man.
there was a lot I had to go through before I
And
realized
there's more yet to come.
Oh, so much more yet to come. And I'm glad for everything I've figured out already. Like, I feel like I've learned so much in my life.
I've learned how to make coffee.
Yeah. Like, that stuff is so important.
I'll stop saying random crap. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But, and then I also think a lot of the time, like, I haven't learned enough. Like, there's so much I wish I knew right now. Like, I wish I knew I had better carpentry skills. I want to build a house someday or something like that. I find myself comparing myself to my dad a lot of the time. And because he, like, I grew up...
Dangerous road to walk.
Yeah, it's true. And, like, I've yet to ask him, but it's been going through my head, like, what was he like at my age right now? Like, what did he know? What was he stumbling as much as I am? Or what? Because all I know of him is, like, him...
As dad.
Yeah, just being the smartest guy that could build anything, that could fix anything. And I'm just like, I'm not there yet. Like, I wish I was that guy, but maybe he wasn't that guy. Maybe he was just maybe I just saw him as that guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you definitely do to some extent, right? 'Cause it's your dad, especially if you have a good relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
He's the superhero.
Totally. Exactly.
So then you always have that, like, higher opinion of him.
Exactly.
But then, yeah. You also are seeing him. You don't really... Your memories of him probably aren't until he was, like, 30-ish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So by then, he's got 30 years of life, and you're at 23.
Right.
Behind you yet. So I have the same thing with my dad. I've often told my mom, I'm like, if I could be half the man that my dad is, I would be like...
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I have to always remind myself that I'm 23 and I'm not doing too bad for myself.
I have kind of come to the conclusion that I think when we hit 18 and we become an adult, we think, okay, I have to have it all figured out.
Right.
And then we act like we have it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the older we get, the more we realize we never had it figured out and we never will have it figured out.
Yeah, honestly.
And you probably realize the less you actually have figured out. the
Mhm.
older you get, and you're just like, you know what? That's okay. It's too much for me to figure out.
Right. And that's what's so nice about being able to trust in God with that stuff. It's like it can be pretty scary if you don't have God. It's like I'm 30, I don't have it figured out. I'm just like stumbling through life. And then there's no hope still but if you have trust in God, you can trust that he's got control.
Yeah. I remember what I was going to look up earlier. Cringing.
Cringing. Is it cringing?
No, it's cringing.
Because
it's cringing.
It could be cringing, but is that a word used in the Bible?
Cringing.
Because is it spelled?
Cringing.
That's how it's spelled. Okay.
So it is cringing. Learn to pronounce. I just pronounced it. So these are the definitions. It's an adjective. Bent in fear or apprehension. He lugged his carry-on bag and computer case past cringing passengers, wary of being hit. It's just that I suck at reading. That's what that problem is.
Right. So it says
obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree.
Yeah. So it says, say to God, how awesome are your deeds. So great is your power that your enemies come cringing to you. That works, right?
Mm-hmm. There's going to be a compilation of me saying cringing.
Cringing. Were you,
Psalm 38.
grab your mic.
I was just about there, right? Don't worry. Woo! All day I get up in the morning for my sides are filled with burning. Sighing about him feeling my heart throb, my strength fails me. Like God. Those who seek my life. Where was it? Where was it?
What are you looking for?
Oh, I have a painful.
What are you looking for? Again?
That comedian.
Oh, you're looking. Okay.
Sorry, I'm down a rabbit trail.
It's okay. I don't think they know what you're talking about.
Because of your indignation, there's no health in my bones. Because of my sin, for my iniquities have gone over my head. Like a heavy burden, they are too heavy. My wounds stink and fester because of my foolishness. I am utterly bowed down and prostrate. All the day I go about mourning. For my sides are filled with burning, and there is no soundness in my flesh. I am feeble and crushed. I groan because of the tumult of my heart. O Lord, all my longing is before you. My sighing is not hidden from you. My heart throbs, my strength fails me. And the light of my eyes, it has gone from me. My friends and companions stand aloof from my plague, and my nearest kin stand far off. Those who seek my life lay their snares. Those who seek my hurt speak of ruin and meditate treachery all day long. Meditate. Man who does not hear, before you, O Lord, I wait to blah, blah, blah. Pain is ever before I confess my desire, but my foes are vigorous. And many are those who hate me wrongfully. It's in there somewhere. I think it's a different translation.
Okay.
Lo, I had a painful disease in my loins. It's supposed to be 7. For my sides are filled with burning, and there is no soundness in my flesh.
Wait, you have to re-say the thing because they didn't get that.
No.
That's just out of context.
Yep.
So it was verse 7. What was that?
My sides are filled with burning. There's no soundness in my flesh. Let me try a different translation. 1 second.
Okay. Our recorder died, so we had to cut, and now we're
Down a rabbit hole.
down a rabbit troll.
Down a rabbit troll.
Looking for a specific verse.
A raging fever burns within me, and my health is broken. Let me find NIV now. I'm only KJV. Have I shown you that song?
No, what is it?
I'm only KJV.
No.
Go thy way, thy hair's a flock of goats, and go thy way. I think you're in a cult. I am. Ooh. My back is filled with searing pain. There is no health in my body. I am feeble and utterly crushed. I groan in anguish.
Okay, for context, What was the story? There was a guy.
There was a comedian that is a Christian comedian, and he forgot his favorite verse one night when he was signing Bibles after a show. So he put a random verse in the Psalms, and he then got home and was like, "Lord, let this be a good verse, and if it's not, change the scriptures." And then he looks at the verse, and it's like, "Lo, I had a painful disease in my loins."
Imagine getting that signed on your Bible and then like, oh, I wonder what that verse says.
I wonder what it's about. Oh, that's his favorite verse. What's wrong with him?
That is funny.
Epistologically.
Epistologically? Like with an A? Epistologically? Oh, okay. Epistemology. Homology.
I have no idea. Epistemology?
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Epistle?
No, it has something to do with the Bible.
That's why I thought it was an A for apostle.
Epistemology! It's a word.
It's with an E.
Yeah.
Oh.
Epistemology.
What does it mean?
The study of knowledge, including its nature, origin, and limits.
Knowledge, just
Yeah.
in itself.
Are you epistemological?
Yeah. I'm always asking why or how.
The theory of knowledge, especially with regard to its methods, validity, and scope.
Mm-hmm.
Epistemology is the investigation of what distinguishes justified belief from opinion.
Ooh, I like that.
It's the search of facts, basically.
I love that. That's yeah.
Hippomonstrosoquipedaliophobia.
Who in the what now?
Sorry. I'm in a weird mood. My brain's like over here, and it's over there, then over there, up there. What,
It's just hopping around.
Yeah.
Got very wordy today.
Hippomonstrosoquipedaliophobia.
The fear of hippos?
Fear of long words.
Why? Of course, it would be like the longest word.
I know it's. I think I missed part of it. I think it's longer.
Really?
Yeah.
My favorite is deoxyribonucleic acid.
That was hilarious the other day. You're just like, Hippomonostrosoquipedaliophobia.
Nice. Ah! I think I have it.
I have a fear of the word spelled A-H. That word.
Ah!
And then somebody else. Have you seen that clip?
I don't think so.
It's so funny. It's just all these guys that have their fear, like different fears.
Yeah.
And one of them's like, I have a fear of apologies. Sorry? Everybody's like.
I think I have seen that. That's so good.
I have a fear of the word spelled A-H. That word. I have a fear of apologies. Sorry? I have a fear of awkward silences.
Ah! Oh, I love the internet. It's so funny.
Hippopotomonstrosoquipedaliophobia. You want me to count the letters? I'll count the letters. 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36
That's
letters
more
long.
than the
I think
alphabet.
it's 37 letters long, actually. I think I missed one.
I'm more interested in syllables. How many syllables?
Ooh.
Now you have to sound it out.
Syllables.
No.
Hippomonstrosauquipedaliophobia.
How many was that?
I don't know, a lot. Hippopotomonstrosoquipedaliophobia.
13.
Let's go. Hippopotomonstrosoquipedaliophobia.
Oh my goodness.
Do you have athazagoraphobia?
What's that?
An intense or irrational fear of being forgotten or forgetting someone or something.
I feel like most people have that.
I don't.
Being forgotten?
Yeah.
You're just like, please.
Yes. There's times when I'm like, I'd be so happy if everybody forgot I existed.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes, yeah, you're so right. And then you could just drive somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Go live in the mountains, all by my lonesome. I had a long conversation about that this week. It's okay. It's fine. We're fine.
Just figure out how to live off the land. Go completely off grid. Oh, I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Until...
Monasticism.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, the monastery life.
I feel like it sounds like a great idea in theory, but as soon as you get out there, you're like, ooh.
In theory, but in practice, it's
just a lonely,
I've
terrible
actually written
life.
poems about it.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Like of the idea of living alone.
Yeah, I'll find you one.
That's why I feel like an acreage just outside of town is perfect, because you can live that solitary life, but still have the resources and the friends nearby to not go crazy.
So this is titled Beautiful Reverie.
Reverie?
Yeah, reverie.
What does that mean?
It's like a dream, an intense dream or desire. Let me look it up again. I like words.
Mm-hmm.
I just do.
We couldn't tell by this whole episode.
Yes. A state of being pleasantly lost in one's thoughts. A daydream. A
Big
reverie.
fan of that.
I love that. Same with one of my poems. It's called Hiriath.
What is that?
And that's the intense desire for something that never was.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, I love these words.
I know. It's so good. Anyway, beautiful reverie.
Okay.
There are times when I enter a place so perfect and pure, all anguish and worry fades, fear and guilt wash away. It is a beautiful place in which I am alone, a place of peace and serenity, where you won't look upon me with disgrace, and I am not ashamed of my faith. All is right here. My faith is strong, my mind at peace. There is no one to anger me, no one to make me unhappy. I long to stay here. I lie still and quiet, taking in the wonder around me, the still chirp of the birds, the gentle rustle of a creek. There is no place like it, nowhere comparable. It is perfect here, better than I deserve or could hope to attain. An impossible place, full of majesty, filled with a holy presence, stilled by a quiet grace, untouched by a destructive hand. The beauty of the world around me, not a person in sight, only a soft breeze, a delicate sway in the trees, cool trickles of water. This may not sound like a place for you, but it is a place for me. It is where I can go to be at peace and feel a calm world. It is a peaceful stream, an untouched forest, a majestic mountain, a still lake. Beautiful reverie.
Wow. That's incredible.
I didn't realize it at the time when I wrote it, but to me this is my vision of heaven.
Yeah.
Is really what this is. Because even like
just straight peace and beauty around you.
And I have this image, and it's still in my, just mountains, and you're in this valley of these beautiful mountains, just pine trees, a river running through the valley.
Yeah.
Some birds chirping, I love the sound of a gentle rustle of the water through this stream, and this gentle swaying of trees. And
man, I want to know what heaven's like. It's like, I don't know. I've had dreams, multiple dreams about heaven. And it's usually just childlike thoughts. Like this one time I went to heaven and I was like, oh, I'm in heaven. I can get whatever I want. And I was like, water slide. There's a giant water slide. I just went down it and I was like, ice cream sundae. Just
I'm surprised you didn't go mocha.
No, this was a while ago before I drank coffee. But it's so, especially because we were talking about time that one episode and how possibly time won't exist in heaven because it's eternity. What the heck does that mean to live outside of time?
Timeless.
What does that mean?
Don't ask me.
It's just heaven is so impossible to comprehend, which means it's probably going to be impossibly amazing.
I like what the one sermon the past Sunday, though, we always talk about wanting to go to heaven, but we don't talk about why we want to go to heaven.
Or
right?
Yeah.
It's not about being in heaven. It's about being in the presence of God.
Yeah.
That's what heaven is.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to go to heaven. I want to go to the presence of the Lord.
Right.
It's not about getting to this beautiful place. It's about getting to be in the presence of the Lord forever.
So true. My girlfriend actually asked me the other day. It was on one of those cards with the really good questions. It was if you could go to any point in time, where would you go? And I was like, I'd go see Jesus, man. I want to meet the man himself. Because, That's the closest we can get, really, in our timeline of Earth. So that would be sweet. So yeah, I kind of just yearn to talk to him, see who he really is. Being in the presence of God is crazy, because God isn't he doesn't have a form. So what does that mean, to be in the presence of God?
And then how can we be made in the image of him if he's formless?
Right. And I think that's image is a metaphor for likeness. And I think the image of God is the fact that we have emotions, the fact that we laugh at things, the fact that, like those things that make us human, that distinguish us from other animals, that in my mind is how we're in the image of God. What do you think? Because I never really thought it as like the image, like we look like God.
I was always on I took it physical.
Oh, really?
Like we were made in his likeness. But that makes more sense. I've heard that too.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes more sense to think of it as in we are made in the images and we have a soul.
Yeah, we have
being.
The ability to ask questions and to ponder and to wonder. Cool.
We have the ability to enjoy his creation.
Mm-hmm. Though I have heard that some animals do have that ability, like bears. Apparently, they do like sit down and like take in nature and enjoy the view, which is cool to think about.
I mean, you can't blame them.
Yeah, they're pretty solitary creatures. Don't have many friends.
Well, and they're in the most beautiful places in the world sometimes, right?
Oh, yeah. Man. I'm a big animal guy. Are you an animal guy?
Yeah. I know too many random facts about random stupid things.
I used to want to be a zoologist, study of animals, but I don't think I'm very good at studying.
I debated about like marine biologist or something for a while.
I did think about that too, because my favorite animal is a blue whale, and I love like the ocean. It just fascinates me. So I did think about that too.
Would you ever go swimming with sharks?
Been there. I went cage diving, so it's a little different, but there was a 12-foot tiger shark that showed up, and it was so cool.
That'd be so cool.
Massive. I was like, because we had a snorkel on, but I was like at the bottom of the cage, like watching it swim under. I like so fascinated that I forgot I had to breathe. I was like down there. I was like, shark, go to the top. But yeah, it was so cool. I love sharks. Completely misunderstood creatures.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah.
Dangerous creatures still, but
still dangerous. But yeah, completely misunderstood because of Jaws and Shark Week and all those fear-mongering stuff. But yeah,
even the creator of Jaws regrets Jaws.
Right. Because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to go swimming with sharks just like all around me. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. And like I see these videos of like people being approached by sharks, and then you just have to like stand your ground and like grab their nose and move them away. I'm just like, I could do that. If a shark was coming towards me, I'd just do that. That's all it takes. But who knows? Like out in the open ocean, big shark coming towards you, what would you do? Kind of just fight or flight at that point.
You ain't flight. Flight not gonna happen.
You're not gonna fly. That's what's scary about the ocean is you're so vulnerable. Like you
can't swim very
I
fast.
was gonna say a fish out of water, but a human in water. Like
you are a fish out of water.
Yeah,
because you're not supposed to be in the water.
Yeah, exactly. We're useless in water. So that's why the ocean is
I'm
so
useful. You put me in water though. Nada.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I got the song "Beautiful One" I love and stuck in my head now. Beautiful one.
I haven't heard that song in a long time.
Beautiful one. I adore. That one. So
Wow, I haven't heard that in years.
Sing. I like how we were talking about the Bible and our verse, and we totally just like...
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be working through the word.
Well, I feel like we kind of worked through as much as we could there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That song's going to be stuck in my head for a while now. That's okay. It's a good song.
I feel like it's hard to work through, like, Psalms.
Yeah.
In a way, just because it's mostly metaphor and it's mostly got the same idea throughout the psalm.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, once you capture the idea, it's kind of not much more to talk about.
Facts.
But maybe we can go through, like, some of the New Testament.
Romans.
Yeah, Romans, dude. I love Romans. Same with James. I feel like James is so blunt.
Yep.
And he's just like...
James is scary, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's just like, this is how it is. If you don't like it, whatever. It's the truth.
James 4 scares me.
What is it?
That's where he's talking about the like leaders. You'll be held to a higher standard.
Right. Yeah. And that scared me too. Coming out of college, it's like the more you know, the more highly you'll be judged or whatever. It's like, dang.
The higher of a standard you're held
Yeah.
to.
And it's like I felt that because I felt so much more conviction coming out of college, knowing what I know and learning everything, learning God's character. I'm like, whoa, definitely feel more convicted than I was. Definitely feel like I'm held to a higher standard now. And it just keeps going higher the more I learn. And I'm only 23. A little spooky, but...
Yeah, my fear was I was like, started pursuing ministry. Then you read James and you're like, I don't want to pursue ministry anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because...
Not true. I still want to, but it's a little scary.
It's scarier because there's so many times where the New Testament talks about false prophets and how terrible those are, and like false teachers teaching the wrong thing. And like, you don't want to become that. You don't want to ever be that. And especially me coming on the podcast talking about the Bible. It's like I only have 2 years worth of Bible school experience. I don't want to say the wrong thing or like say something's true when it isn't. So, but yeah, a little scarier knowing more, but worth it.
Yeah,
in my opinion, totally worth it.
100%. I have so many random thoughts in my brain right now. It's not okay.
I can see you trying to hold back.
It's bad. I'm literally like sitting on my hands. Like, no.
Is it the coffee or like?
No, I don't know. I'm in a good mood and my brain is just like all over.
Just everywhere?
Yeah.
Fair.
I got random movie quotes going through my brain.
We have a new alliteration for the people.
Ooh.
What letter should we choose? I like touching this mic. Just like being able to move it around because my other mic I couldn't do that.
We could do D.
Definitely.
Defibrillating Dalmatians.
What an image.
Dutifully destroy delectable
ducklings. It's your face that gets me.
Defibrillating Dalmatians dutifully destroy delectable ducklings deliberately.
Oh my goodness. I always think about like what it actually means and like the whole image of like defibrillating and it somehow destroying the ducklings.
Defibrillating Dalmatians delicately disintegrate daring ducklings deliberately.
Does that mean the ducklings are trying to save the Dalmatians and the defibrillation disintegrates them?
The Dalmatians are delicately defibrillating the daring ducklings.
Oh no!
Getting disintegrated.
The poor ducklings. Why are the Dalmatians doing
That's
that?
almost as bad as the one earlier with the baboon.
What was the baboon one? Oh, yeah.
Bombastic baboons.
What were they doing?
Blamelessly beat baby
Balloons. Oh,
belugas. Bashfully.
Bashfully just makes it so much worse. Like they're enjoying it and having a good time.
They're slightly embarrassed about it.
Right.
That's bashful.
Oh, is that bashful? They're slightly embarrassed, but not enough to stop. Oh, man.
I love this episode is like
All over the place.
it's like super serious. Bombastic baboons.
Oh, no.
Progressively poignant penguins.
I love how we just like switch from like complete nonsense to like having something really meaningful to say and then back to complete nonsense. Just keeping them on their toes. Hopefully it keeps the episodes interesting.
That's just where my brain's at right now.
Yeah.
When you drink water through your trunk, does it taste like boogers? No. Well, sometimes. Let's go.
Oh, what's that one from?
Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Or Continental Drift, sorry.
Right. Is that content? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ice Age 4.
Yeah.
That's the one. I haven't seen Continental Drift in a while. I haven't even seen the 5th one.
It's pretty funny.
Dang. Those are good movies.
Remember, lift with your legs and not your back. Too late.
This guy can remember so many quotes. It's ridiculous.
It's bad.
I don't know how.
My cousin and I will play a game where I give her movie quotes and just to guess the movie.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where I like think about the movie and pick random like obscure quotes. So it's purposefully hard. Like we did the Lorax the other day. And you could do the classic like, I speak for the trees.
Right.
And that gives it away right away.
Yeah.
So I picked. Let's see if you remember the scene. What are you playing? I'm playing poker. He's playing Go Fish. I think he's hungry.
Oh yeah. Was he playing with the little bears?
It was a bear, a fish, and a duck.
Right.
And the Lorax is playing poker.
Yeah.
Because they have cards. And the bear is playing Go Fish. And the fish is like clinging to his cards, trying to keep the duck from eating them.
I think he's hungry.
My favorite quote is because the duck eats one of the cards. The fish is just like,
Oh, that is a funny movie. I
Mhm.
recently watched that one too.
Yeah, it's bad how many movie quotes I remember.
Mm.
There's some movies where I watch it with my family and I'm quoting the whole movie.
Yeah. I can do that with the Simpsons movie and Flushed Away. And what other one? I don't know. Those are the two I've watched a lot.
I can do it with Jumanji.
Jumanji, really?
Yeah, with Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
The first one, I can quote almost the whole movie.
That's insane. That is such a good movie.
It's so funny. Weaknesses, cake. Yes, cake is my weakness, along with speed and strength. Quick question. How is strength my weakness? And why would I need to be fast when I'm being chased by some killer zebra in this stupid hat?
Oh, it's so good.
You're also a good weapons valet. What does that even mean? Well, I think it means you carry my weapons and give them to me when and if I need them. You've got to be kidding me.
Was that Jack Black saying that stuff?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, right. Jack Black
Cake makes me explode.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's also bad because I can tell you like the scene too. I can picture the whole scene in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that with Flushed Away for sure. It's so good. I think those movies are the best to like rewatch because they're so like me and my girlfriend have been rewatching like every old childhood movie.
Yep.
Just they're so much fun to rewatch.
He did what in his cup?
Yeah. Too good.
And you pick up on a lot more things than you did when you watched them when you were younger.
You're like, whoa, how did they slip that in?
Yep.
It's like, obviously it worked because I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I watched Happy Feet the other day, and that's a good movie. Wow.
I think I only watched that one once.
It was like, that was one of the ones I watched a lot when I was younger, and wow, it's so good. Like the story and the message behind it. And like the fact that it's like realism, like the animation is so good. It's like realistic. Really cool.
I can't get over the fact that we were talking about scripture and deep things, and then we're talking about bombastic baboons and movies.
Oh,
This episode is just chaos.
Chaos. That's okay. We got some
It's entertaining.
beneficial stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
What's it like having such a short lifespan? It's great, mister. When I get older, I'm going to wish I'd done more with my life, sonny. The humble fruit fly.
like how half the people are gonna understand, and the other half
You're
are
like, what is going on? I apologize in advance. My bad.
So Japheth, what are you doing for Christmas?
Sleep.
Fair.
No, I got school to do yet.
School. Are you gonna try to get it done before Christmas?
I have to. That's all due on the 18th.
Oh, okay.
Next Wednesday.
So what are you doing after the 18th?
My plans for Christmas are I'm going to read a bunch of books. I'm going to try and work on some self-discipline stuff.
Mm.
And then I have some family plans, but actually not much.
Fair.
I think I have 2 days of plans with my family. I'm working Christmas Eve.
Me too. And apparently Boxing Day as well.
Ooh.
And the 29th.
We're going to a hockey game.
Right. When's that?
21st.
Yeah.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Oilers.
Versus the Sharks.
Versus the Sharks.
Yes, sir. I get to watch Macklin Celebrini.
Who?
And Connor McDavid.
Connor McDavid.
I don't even know if you know who Macklin Celebrini is. He was the first overall draft pick this past year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he on the Sharks?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I don't keep up with that stuff.
I don't really either, but I do. I am more aware of it than...
Right.
I like sports, so I pay attention to some extent.
Yeah.
I don't
I
pay
like-
attention to the NBA. NBA's dumb.
Careful.
I love basketball. I hate the NBA.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
It's not basketball. It's not entertaining. It's literally a shooting competition, and they don't play defense.
It's so true. That's why hockey is like the most entertaining sport.
Hockey and soccer.
Soccer.
If you know how to play soccer and
Yeah.
you watch professional soccer,
It's very impressive.
it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Like,
It
I
is
can't
an
describe
art.
it any way else than beautiful.
Yeah, they're perfect passes and like plays.
There's some plays where you're just like, oh my gosh.
In my opinion, there's just not enough scoring, and ending in a tie is ridiculous.
That's my one thing is I hate the ending in a tie.
Yeah.
But there's no real way to break a tie in soccer other than a shootout, which is dumb.
Yeah,
You go to
because
PKs.
you'll win. You'll score every time.
No. You don't they don't score every time. The goalies are actually nuts
That's crazy.
in PKs. But it's a terrible way to decide a game.
Yeah. Because I remember, like, I was a goalie for 10 years, and, like, penalty kicks suck. Because, like, you're so screwed, you have to almost guess where
They
they're gonna
pick a
shoot.
direction, basically.
Yeah. But one time the biggest kid had the, crazy leg. He was taking a penalty kick on me, and I stopped it. He's like, oh, it was such a hard shot. Stopped it, bounced, and then he, ran up to me and kicked it in. I was like, oh. It was almost success.
Yep. I was always the one taking the penalty kick.
Yeah. I don't have a good leg on me. For some reason, I can't kick a soccer ball.
Dude, when I had wicked kick.
Yeah.
It was bad. There were times when it was bad. Like we'd be warming up before the game,
Yeah.
and I would just be shooting normally, not thinking I'm kicking it that hard.
Yeah.
And my buddy was the goalie, and he'd be like, "Dude, stop kicking so hard." And I was like, "I'm not."
Dude,
It was bad.
I loved it when they shot as hard as they could on me in practice, because then I could just, man, I loved it. I loved taking those shots.
I sent a couple people to the bench because I hit them after I kicked the ball.
Oh my goodness.
There was one, I was playing indoor,
Yeah.
and I kicked it just to try and clear it, and a kid got in the way and nailed him in the stomach.
Oh.
He went off. And then later at playing outdoor, I was getting pissed on defense because we weren't clearing the ball. And it came to me, and I wailed on that thing as hard as I freaking could. I was like, it's getting out.
Yeah.
It did not. One of my teammates in front of me tried to duck, and I hit him in the butt, either the butt or right up, lower back. He went off.
Yeah.
Because he was in so much pain, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I wailed on that thing, and he was limping, getting off. Because I was like, ooh.
Oh, man.
I felt so bad.
I was always, tripped or kicked or something. I would always try to do something fancy around to deke someone, and then they'd just kick my leg and take me out. I'm like, come on. One time this guy was winding up, and I just kind of tapped the ball away from his foot so he wouldn't kick it, and then he just ended up kicking me every time. I
was always defense. Later
Yeah.
on, I got defensive mid.
Right. I was better at defense. I always wanted to play forward, but I'd choke every time I got the ball, and I was in front of the goalie. I'd choke. I'd somehow miss my kick or trip or something. I don't know why. It was just the pressure was on.
Here's a weird fact for you. I played defense, and my last few years of soccer, I had probably the third or fourth most goals on the team.
Wow. Let's go. Yeah, I would never get goals.
Now, part of that came from I took all the penalty kicks because I had a good penalty kick.
Yeah.
And then I would also get most of my goals came from the 18-yard box. A lot of them off corner kicks, so I would sneak up on a corner kick, get the ball, and take that shot, and then it would go in.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really scored inside the 18-yard box.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you mostly play indoor or?
I played both a lot.
Okay.
I played more outdoor, but there were a few years where I think 3 or 4 years in a row where I went outdoor, indoor, outdoor, indoor, outdoor, indoor.
Yeah, I never really played outdoor. I played 1 year. I mean, I played when I was really young outdoor, but then I went to indoor at grade 3 to the end. I played 1 year outdoor when I was a bit older, which was pretty fun. It was actually crazy because we were the worst team. There was only 4 teams in the league for some reason, and we were by far the worst team. And then when it came to the deciding match for to get into the finals, it was it didn't matter for the whole season, I guess. And then it was just the deciding match, who goes to the finals.
Yeah, if there's only 4 teams.
Yeah. And then somehow we beat the top team. And we got a silver medal. And we got crushed in the finals. But somehow we squeaked the top team, and they were so mad because they were by far the top. And then they had to play for bronze, and they easily won bronze. But I don't know how we squeaked a silver in that league.
They probably came in with, oh, we're going to win. And you guys were like, we're going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think they were missing a couple of their good players or something. We just somehow beat them. But
itchy mustache.
That's it for the sports section of the podcast.
I watched a soccer game the other day, and I was like, man, I missed this so much.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. The nostalgia hit in, and I was like, oh, man, I want to play.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather play sports than watch.
Yeah, I've tried coaching.
Really?
That's almost worse because you're like, just do it right already. Just let me do it. I'll just
put me in, coach.
Yeah,
wait,
I'm the coach. Never mind.
My dad was always my coach
Same.
for indoor, so that was always interesting.
Yeah, my dad was my coach for indoor and outdoor.
Mm.
Until I played when I was in Stettler. And then when we moved to Lacombe, I ended up playing in Wetaskiwin because I didn't like Lacombe,
Yeah.
the team, because they were our rivals in Stettler, and I didn't want to switch sides of the rivalry. And I also didn't like a bunch of the guys on the Lacombe team or the coaches.
Right.
So I played in Wetaskiwin, and then my dad wasn't the coach. He was the assistant coach. But
Right. Yeah.
good times.
Good times.
Well, it's been over an hour.
Yeah. So
Do we need to leave them with one more alliteration?
that's what I was gonna say. We definitely have to.
What letter are we doing, Ryan?
What letter?
What letter?
I feel like R.
R. Yeah. Robust.
Robust.
Radically robust.
Walruses. What's an R animal that starts with an R?
Radically robust rodents.
Robust rodents. Ridicule.
Rationally reconciled
Residents.
Ruthlessly.
What is it?
Radically robust rodents ridicule residents ruthlessly. Ruthlessly ridicule residents.
Ruthlessly ridicule residents.
Ruthlessly ridicule.
What?
I don't feel like that's an appropriate word to use there. Never mind.
I feel like I know where you're going with that. Residents. Rightfully.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Radically robust rodents ruthlessly ridicule residents rightly.
Rightly. Ryan.
Radically robust rodents ruthlessly ridicule Ryan rightfully.
Rightfully. Yeah. It's good. I can just picture the rodents ridiculing me.
I'm picturing Ratatouille. And they're all like, that's the rats I'm picturing.
And I'm the health inspector tied up in the freezer.
Yep.
And they're just like, yeah. Yeah. That's how we're ending it.
That's the image we're leaving you with. A radical Ryan ruthlessly ridiculed by robust rodents.
Deal.
This cake's robust.
Oh, that's it. That's it.